everybody, it's Judy back again, and this week I'd like to discuss learning art from a book. Specifically this week, I'm going to be using a book I got at my local craft store at Michael's. This one's called Watercolor Flowers, and you can typically find these books at any art supply store. They're very thin, typically not more than 50 pages long. I'm not talking about the kind of art books that cover anatomy for the artist or composition or big instructional texts like that. I'm talking about these project-specific books that usually focus on some very narrow topic like flowers or puppies or kittens or dragons or hands, and they're typically step-by-step instructional books with photographs like this. So this is the one we're going to be doing today. It's Poppies and Daisies. This is the goal that we're trying to achieve, and I do not have any experience painting flowers, so this was a perfect experiment for me because I am a true novice. So if you see me doing things wrong and you're like, wow, you really don't know how to paint, it's true. I have no professional or educational experience doing watercolor painting, and when I was in school we did oil painting and acrylics, and we just did portraits and still lifes. So watercolor flowers is very much out of my element for me. So these are all the things you're going to need, all the materials, and this is just for this specific painting. I doubt you're going to go out and get this specific book to do it, so I don't know if it matters much, but I just wanted you to know what I was using. And I'm going to do the painting, and I'm going to speed it up real fast. It took me almost 2.5 hours to do, and then at the end I'll come back and give you my conclusions on learning to paint from a book. Or if you'd rather skip the painting part, I'll add an annotation here to the part where I start discussing my opinions, and you can zoom ahead to that part. Alright, so for a little background on me, I am a very self-motivated person and I love to teach myself things. When I was maybe 12 or 13, I taught myself how to code websites and, build my own blogs and things like that and do HTML and CSS. So this is definitely a method of learning that I really enjoy. And not, learning from a book isn't for everybody. I understand that. But for me, it is something I have always wanted to enjoy and gain things from. And as a young kid, I bought a lot of these books on like cartooning and drawing and just all sorts of things. I'd see these books and I'd see the beautiful pieces of art in them and I'd be like, I would like to know exactly how to create that. So I always have really high hopes for these books. Maybe it's just I'm naive and I expect things to turn out really great. But I think these types of books have a very specific purpose, and it doesn't really teach you the fundamentals of art because you're not understanding the why behind what you're doing. So like with this book, I didn't even have to learn how to draw the flowers. I just traced them. So that's an entire step of the process that I had no knowledge of. And I still struggle to draw flowers. So this is just to learn basically how to color mix and apply paint to the surface. That being said, I struggled with this. There's a lot of things about this painting that I want to change, and I'm definitely going to change because I feel like I can go back and with what I've learned, I can make some alterations. But I really didn't know how the watercolor paint was going to behave. I had no idea how much water to load on my brush or what percentages of the colors were in the mixes. In the book, it just says mix, indigo and cadmium orange or whatever mixture. And so I would essentially just go 50-50 because I don't know how much of this color and that color do I need. So some of my color mixes definitely look off to me. Like the center of the poppies is too dark green. I think it should be more yellow green, just a little more vibrant. And the same thing with all the leaves and stems and stuff like that. I don't think I got those colors exactly right. And I also want to add that towards the end of the demonstration in the book, the last step is, this is how the painting looks with all the steps I've provided you with. And then on the right hand side, there's that finished picture. And the author says that, she went back to intensify colors and add details. And so the painting changes a lot from that small little thumbnail of the last step and then to her finished product, which you'll find a lot in these kind of books where they show you how to do 1 or 2 sections and then they're like, repeat this for the other sections. And it's very frustrating if you're a beginner and you don't know how to apply that knowledge to different types of scenarios. So having said all that, is there a reason to ever buy one of these books? And I think yes, there definitely is a reason and a time and a place to buy a book like this. For me, now that I know more about art, I went to school, I have a degree in illustration, I had a lot more fun because I understood the concepts of color mixing and color theory behind it, but I wasn't particularly inspired by any flowers. I didn't have any reference pictures I really wanted to paint, and I kind of have no idea how to begin a painting like that. So in this case, I could focus specifically on color mixing techniques and paint application techniques, which are 2 things I have no experience with. So it was really good practice just to play around and have fun. But I do caution beginners who buy these books thinking, oh, I'll be able to create a piece of art like that, that'll be fun. There is a major frustration level involved because things don't always turn out exactly how they're supposed to. And if you're expecting to just learn overnight exactly what you need to, it's not going to be the case with these books. So as long as you set your expectations in the proper place and you don't want to become a master artist overnight, I think these are great practice and they're a lot of fun to get you inspired and enjoy the process. So everyone, take care and stay passionate.